Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the final week of Season 7 of the Lions Den Quiz League. So, it looks like this right now. It's really, really close. Week 4, I finished in 7th, Rasmus was in 8th, Luna was in 9th, Solar Sensei was in 2nd. I was, 7th last week. The week before that I was 8th. Week before that I was 1st. Week before that I was 1st. Crazy good performances, honestly, so far for me. I know you can't see the top of the standings, but in the overall season standings, things are looking like this. I will go ahead and hide this and this so you can see, but it's close. I don't think there's a championship this season. I might be wrong, but I think it's just going to be about, whoever finishes top of this leaderboard this season is going to be the winner. And yeah, it's tight. The top 5 are all within 2 points of each other going into the final week. So this is going to be nuts. I think I have a decent week. I don't know if it's great. I don't know if it's good enough to actually win, but I think it's decent. Decent, not great, but again, we'll see. I mean, some of the things I'm obviously not sure about, but so we're just gonna have to see how it goes. Getting into quiz number 1, by the way, all the quiz. First of all, you can't see any of the leaderboard to preserve the suspense, and the quiz titles are all about fire. So everything is fire themed this week. And without further ado, I do not actually have a lot of time, so let's get going. Quiz number 1. General Knowledge by Benny. Which playwright wrote the play Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, as well as A Streetcar Named Desire? This is, of course, Tennessee Williams. I don't know. It's kind of you know it or you don't, but these are fairly famous plays, and he's one of the more famous American playwrights. Question 2. In the movie Hot Fuzz, Simon Pegg's character realizes the central crime of the movie was committed by multiple killers while eating the Classico flavor of what branded food product? It is part of a loose trilogy with Shaun of the Dead and The World's End, titled for this product. I don't know, unfortunately. I have no idea what's going on here. I've never seen these movies. I'm going to say Jell-O because that is a product that exists and that's something somebody could eat, and I feel like Jell-O Classico theoretically could be a thing, so I'll go with that. I don't actually eat Jell-O because it's weird and gross, but yeah, I don't know. It's a fairly common food product. Question 3. According to legend, which Aztec emperor supposedly drank as many as 50 cups of hot chocolate a day? I mean, I hope it's this guy, because if it's not this guy, I'm in trouble, because I don't think I can name another Aztec emperor. He's just by far the most famous. Most people just know him as Montezuma. I mean, Moctezuma is the actual Aztec name, but and he is the second. I doubt I need to put the second, but he is the second. You know what? I'll just say Moctezuma because maybe it's the first, and they didn't say to be specific, so I think they would accept it either way. But it's surely going to be the second, the famous one, the one who was, I think, conquered and killed by Cortez. If it's another one, no chance. But I think most people are just going to guess Moctezuma because they're not going to have a better guess. So hopefully that's actually what's going on. Question 4. The Red Hot Chili Peppers line, "She's my priestess, I'm your priest," comes from what song of theirs, titled after the fictional woman referenced in the aforementioned line? This song is full of references to U.S. states, including lines about her being born in the state of Mississippi and robbing on a bank in the state of Indiana. I have no better guess here than Danny California. This is... I don't listen to the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I find their music not very good. I don't know, not very enjoyable to listen to. A couple of their songs are fine, but for the most part, I don't really like their stuff that much. But I know they have a song called Danny California. I know like 3 or 4 Red Hot Chili Pepper songs, and references to U.S. states makes sense, even though I don't actually know the specific lyrics of that song. I think it makes a lot of sense. Question 5. Speaking of Red Hot Chili Peppers, what chemical gives hot chili peppers their spice? It's also the active ingredient in pepper spray and many hot sauces. This is capsaicin. I don't know. I've watched just enough. I don't know. I feel like I went through a phase of like a couple of months when I was in high school of just like watching people eating hot peppers and dying from it. Not dying, but not being very happy about it either. Anyway, capsaicin is just the thing that makes pepper spicy. Basically, that's what I know it as. Finally, speaking of spicy food, what charismatic soccer player was featured on the YouTube series Hot Ones? This player's career is summarized below, though a club in his home country is redacted. He played for Ajax, Juventus, Inter Milan, Barcelona, etc., etc. PSG from 2012 to 16, then Man United, then LA Galaxy. This is definitely Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Very, I don't know, just super famous soccer player who very much played for all of these teams. I think Malmo was the home country one that they redacted, but either way, should definitely be Zlatan. And then as for what to enhance, honestly, I'm really not sure. Oh boy, I'm not sure because like Zlatan's really famous. I feel like anyone who follows soccer a little bit is gonna know that. Um, do I enhance Danny California? I don't know. Like, what if it's wrong? I feel like there's a chance that it's wrong because it's like I don't actually know the lyrics to the song. Montezuma is too easy, I think. Tennessee Williams or Capsaicin? Those just feel so knowable. I don't know. Like maybe Capsaicin's harder than I think, but I feel like it's quite well known, isn't it? Hmm. Okay. I don't know. I really don't know what to do with this one. I think I'm gonna... I'll pause and be right back. I'll think about it for a sec. Okay, I'm gonna enhance Capsaicin. I feel like no, even like knowing the name of it is not super trivial. There are surely some people who won't. Um, I don't feel that great about it, but I feel like it's probably the best option of the ones I have, so I'm gonna go with it. Danny California is correct. That's good. Moctezuma the second. Oh my! It's that thing. Oh, you gotta be kidding me, dude. You've got to be kidding me. This came up probably less than a week ago in Catfishing, which is another trivia game. There was a question about, I think it was called like Three Flavors Cornetto was the name of the trilogy. Unbelievable. So that's what it was. See, that probably would have stuck in my head if I had any idea what cornetto was. But what is cornetto? What is it? Genuinely, I don't know what that is. It's probably a British thing. But like if I knew what cornetto was, I think I would have been able to connect the dots. But I just saw the name of that trilogy. I was like, I've never heard of this in my life, and I just moved on. Now I won't forget. But what is cornetto? Is it? I mean, it's some kind of food product, I guess. But I'll be honest, I genuinely don't know what it is. So you guys can let me know, I guess. But I don't think it's a thing here. So little unfortunate for me. But honestly, 5 out of 6 on that is pretty good. Moctezuma was correct, which is good. Capsaicin, anyway. I was pretty confident about the rest of these. I figured it had to be down in California, but yeah, it's a good start. I didn't figure it had to be down in California. I felt pretty good about it, but I didn't know if I wanted to enhance it because, like, what if the song mentions states but the title doesn't, you know? All right, quiz 2. More general knowledge. Humans have harnessed fire for millennia. One theory for how they came to control fire was their exposure to what biome, which is a woodland grassland with trees spaced widely enough to lack a canopy. Not sure, but the best option I can think of here is like savanna. I mean, I don't think it's going to be like tundra. It's not going to be taiga because that's like a boreal forest. It's not going to be rainforest or, I don't know, it could be like chaparral or something like that. But I feel like savanna, it sounds like what's being described. I mean, we have some trees, which makes sense. We have grass, which makes sense. And there's no canopy. So it sounds like it's describing a savanna. Question 2. What is the primary title of a 2009 Richard Wrangham book subtitled How Cooking Made Us Human that discusses how inventing cooking led to the evolution of Homo erectus? It shares this title with a very different novel that is the second in its series. So I thought I don't know, this one didn't take me that long to think of, but I figure it's probably Catching Fire because Catching Fire fits the theme of the quiz, makes sense that it's about cooking and evolution and whatever. And Catching Fire is, of course, the second book in the Hunger Games series, and I think the timing checks out, so that hopefully should be the answer. Question 3. Fire can be destructive. The term scorched earth, or policies where militaries destroy as many of their opponents' resources as possible, originated from literal earth scorching that occurred in a 1937-45 war between what two countries? The Mukden incident led to that conflict between these two countries. This one I thought about for a while because I was like, this feels like it should be something that I should know, but like I'm not sure. I was thinking it could be something in like Southeast Asia because honestly, Mukden to me sounds it sounds like Mukdahan in Thailand. So I thought it's just like Thailand, Cambodia. But then I realized, wait, I'm pretty sure French Indochina lasted longer than this. Like I think it was a thing until like, I want to say the 50s. So I don't think saying something like Thailand and Cambodia or Vietnam here is a very good idea. It could be Vietnam. It could be like China and Vietnam or something. But my idea was that it's maybe like China and Japan because I know that there was a lot of conflict between China and Japan around that time. And I think that the whole like Manchukuo like puppet state thing was I think World War II era. Um, I don't think it's going to be Europe because I feel like Europe was just World War II and 37 to 45 war kind of would overlap, which seems weird. Um, but Japan, I mean, Japan feasibly could have been at war with China and the rest of the world at the same time. So, and it makes sense that it would end in 45. So basically, I don't know. Mukden, I don't recognize that. It doesn't sound very familiar to me. It sounds kind of Thai, but I don't think it's Thailand. So I'm gonna say China and Japan because they were fighting for a long time. I think like the rape of Nanjing, for example, I think was around that time, but I honestly I might be completely wrong about that. So it's a guess, but hopefully it's the right idea. Question 4: Fire can be beautiful using different metal salts in fireworks. Can create explosions of different colors. White colored fireworks typically use a mix of magnesium, zirconium, and what metal? The most common white pigment used in painting is named for this metal. This is a coin flip for me. I think it's either titanium or zinc, because I think titanium dioxide is maybe the pigment, but also zinc oxide is also a white pigment. I think they're both found in sunscreen, which is why I know what they are. I don't know which one is more common in painting, unfortunately. Um, I'm gonna go with titanium, if for no other reason than zinc kind of sounds like zirconium. I feel like if you look at zirconium, you might think of zinc, so maybe this makes it a little bit less obvious. But I'm really worried that this is zinc oxide, so it might be zinc. But I'm gonna go with titanium. Question 5: Fire can be dramatic. A 1/10 scale model of the Houses of Parliament had to be made for the fire explosion scene, embodying the Hugo Weaving played title character's moral victory at the end of what '05 film, adapted from a comic series. Okay, so this one I wouldn't have known this at the beginning of this week, but we played or I don't know, I don't remember exactly when the match was. Maybe it was last week. Anyway, we played a trivia. It was an Only Connect trivia set where one of the things on the grid was like, oh right, no, it was the Benny one. So that was like what, Wednesday night or something. Anyway, the point is, one of the categories in his grid was actors who played characters who are known by a single letter. And I did not know that Hugo Weaving was in the movie V for Vendetta. But apparently, according to my trivia teammates, he played a character called V in that movie. Now, I only knew that movie was about like Guy Fawkes and the gunpowder plot and stuff like that. I didn't know that there was a character called V, although I guess it makes sense. I don't know. I've never seen it. Maybe I should see it. Anyway, Hugo Weaving, I know he's in Lord of the Rings. I know he's in The Matrix. I didn't know he was in this movie until earlier this week, but I figure, I mean, Houses of Parliament exploding, that kind of sounds like V for Vendetta, so this is surely the answer. And then finally, question 6. Name the scientist primarily credited with designing a device that consists of a nozzle that receives gas through rubber tubing and directs it upward. This is surely a Bunsen burner. I don't actually know. It's like Conrad, maybe is his first name. I'm not sure. But his last name is Bunsen, and that's all you need. So, yeah, that's just describing a Bunsen burner. Honestly, again, I don't know what to enhance. I might go with 5 because it feels to me maybe it is really obvious. I don't know. Houses of Parliament exploding. Maybe it's super obvious. The other option is maybe to go with number 2. Which, I don't know. Again, it's like, which is harder? Like, 4 is a coin flip I'm worried about. 3 is probably wrong, or at least I don't feel anywhere near confident enough about it. 6 is too easy. 1, I think, I'm not even sure about it either. Maybe I go for, I don't know. How hard to think of is Catching Fire? I thought of it immediately, but how well known? I mean, I feel like the book itself probably isn't that well known. You kind of have to get it through the Hunger Games thing. Okay. Honestly, I'll go with 2 because I feel like V for Vendetta is just really famous, but maybe I am making the wrong choice there. We'll see. V for Vendetta, Catching Fire, Savannah, China and Japan, Titanium. Oh my God. Robert Bunsen. I don't know who I was thinking of. I actually got 6 out of 6 on that. I can't quite believe it. That's kind of crazy. I didn't think China Japan was going to be correct, and I was convinced that it was going to be zinc and not titanium. That's huge. And again, I'm trying to win the league right now, so I am that's a big result because I was not sure about like 2 to 3 of those answers. So let's go. And also shout out Benny for for alerting me to the whole Hugo Weaving V for Vendetta situation. That definitely helped out. Quiz 3. The gas leak season, this is pop culture by the way, refers to the 4th season of what show, which occurred after creator Dan Harmon was fired, but performed so badly that he was rehired for the 5th and 6th seasons. And then episode titles that, I mean, these are really weird episode titles. I don't know what's going on. That's the gist here. I'm going to say Glee because that is a TV show that exists. And I don't know anything about it. So who knows? Maybe it's right, but it could be anything. Question 2. Just one of the issues plaguing the horribly received 2021 game Balan Wonderworld was the firing of director Yuji Naka during development, who is best known for co-creating what iconic character. He prototyped his movement with a rudimentary platformer involving a ball rolling quickly through a long tube. I was like, what's a platforming character that rolls like a ball? And I was like, it's probably Sonic the Hedgehog because, well, it just makes sense, doesn't it? And it's Japanese, so that checks out as well. Maybe it's wrong, but I feel like Sonic is the best guess I'm going to come up with. So question 3, in a 2020 YouTube video titled, I Got Fired, Thank God, what sensation to be describes getting fired and outlines her plans to rap stardom. And then a bunch of stuff I've, again, never, ever heard of. I am going to say Doja Cat because that is a female rapper who I think has gotten famous relatively recently. So yeah, but I don't really know what's going on. Question 4, despite being the all-time leader in hits, Pete Rose was slammed with a lifetime ban from the MLB due to engaging in what activity? A recent scandal surrounded Ippei Mizuhara, Otani's translator, due to his engagement in gambling. Again, relatively easy, I think, but any baseball question that is in these quizzes is probably going to be pretty easy because, yeah, otherwise people wouldn't get them right. But Pete Rose was notably a gambler and also a horrible person. So it's kind of a shame that he's the hits leader. But honestly, Ichiro is the real hits leader anyway, so yeah. Question 5, director Bryan Singer's combative attitude on set led to his firing towards the end of production for what 2018 film, which still became by far the highest grossing musical biopic of all time. Not sure about this one, but my best guess here is Bohemian Rhapsody because, I mean, it's a movie that I saw. It was I think biopic just means like biographical picture. It was about Queen. It won awards. I think Rami Malek might have won Best Actor for it. So it was a pretty big deal. There was also I think there was an Elton John movie around the same time, but I don't feel like it was as big. So I feel like I got to go with Bohemian Rhapsody here. It just makes a lot of sense for a musical biopic that was high grossing. Finally, question 6. Due to an altercation on set, Thomas Gibson was fired from what show in 2016 after playing Agent Aaron Hotchner for 11 years, a procedure whose characters work in the FBI's Behavioral Analysis Unit. Don't know. I'm going to say The X-Files because that is a TV show that exists, and that's about all I know about it. I have just almost no interest in most television. I definitely watch some shows, and there are certain genres and things that do interest me, but for the most part, TV is just, it's not really my forte, nor is it my area of interest. So, unlucky. This is a rough one. I think I'm probably not going to do super well with this one. I hope I at least have 2 or 3, but that's probably about all I'm going to get. I think, honestly, I'm going to go with 4 for the enhanced, which, again, this feels like it's not that hard a question. But Bohemian Rhapsody, I'm not sure that it's right, and it also feels really guessable anyway, and 2 feels pretty easy with the whole rolling thing. And the rest just, I don't think I have these right. So, yeah, 4 it is. We'll hope for the best. I don't know what counts as a motorcycle. Let's go. Criminal Minds, okay. Doichi? Who the hell is that? Who is that? No chance. Community, that's a thing. I mean, Glee is a thing. Community is a thing. They're all things. I guess the wrong thing. If you asked me what Community was about, I wouldn't be able to tell you. So there you go. Guess the wrong show. Criminal Minds, again, I've heard of that. I maybe should have thought longer. If that had come to me, there's a chance I would have guessed it. But again, I don't know anything about it. So there's always going to be tricky. But Sonic was right. Bohemian Rhapsody was right. It's 3 out of 6. It's not great, but pop culture is never amazing for me, so I won't complain. It could have been worse. Next quiz is number 4. And it's all about, well, I mean, they're all kind of about fire, let's be honest. Question 1. What building is pictured here? It says Dem Deutschen Volke. This surely is the Reichstag, which did burn. The burning of the Reichstag. I mean, I know the phrase burning of the Reichstag is just a thing in my head. I think, was this a World War II thing? I'm not 100% sure. I think it was World War II, but anyway, Reichstag did burn at one point. Question 2. Who's this? All right, I'm gonna be honest. I have no idea. There's a little thingy in the bottom right that indicates it's like that little thing you see at the bottom of YouTube videos. So this is probably a YouTuber, but like a YouTuber for food, I have no clue. And you're gonna laugh at me for this, but I'm gonna say it's Gordon Ramsay. I know that this isn't Gordon Ramsay. It like vaguely kind of looks like him. I mean, it's obviously not him, unless it's like whatever 20 years ago and he got an extreme makeover or something. I'm pretty sure it's not Gordon Ramsay, but the thing is, I just don't know who this is. I don't think I've ever seen this man's face in my life, and it's not going to happen. So yeah, forget it. Question 3. This figure was taken at the beginning, or this picture was taken at the beginning of what year? Again, the Olympics questions kind of drive me crazy because there are so many Olympics questions and so few American sports questions, and the American ones are always easy, and the Olympics ones are, do you know what year the Olympics were held in Nagano? The answer to which is absolutely not. I want to say it's the 80s, but I am probably wrong about that too. I'm going to say 1984. And just again, I think 84 was before they split the winter and summer years wise. So I think 84 makes sense as a guess. But like, I don't know when they held the Olympics in Nagano. Like, this is like, I know it's a skill issue that I don't pay attention to the Olympics and don't really care about them. But it's like, there's so many Olympics questions in LDQL in comparison to other sports, which is just, it's unfortunate, but it's fair given the international audience. So I'll say 84 and just move on. This is the logo for Tinder. Not an app I have ever used because I feel like most people use Tinder for hookups and short-term things, and I'm personally not about that life. So I've used stuff like Bumble and Hinge, but not Tinder. But I definitely know the logo for Tinder anyway, so it works. The photo below is taken from a video performance of What Duet? Took me a sec, but I was really thinking that this guy in the front looks kind of like Bruno Mars, and then I realized, wait a second, it probably is Bruno Mars, because the other one I think is Lady Gaga, because they have been quite popular recently. I think "Die with a Smile" is a song that they released that's kind of gone quite viral. Yeah. Anyway, both of them have been very much at the forefront of the music world, I think, for the last month or two. So. Anyway, this should be them. I think that really looks like Bruno Mars to me, just looking at him. So yeah, hopefully that's the one. And this is of course Charmander. That's, I think, very easy. Enhancing. I think, do I have to go with the Reichstag for this, or do I go with Bruno Mars and Lady Gaga? I mean, it feels like they're so recognizable though. Tinder feels really easy. Charmander feels really easy. The Reichstag, but it's so gettable because it's like it says Deutschen on the front. Like it's so gettable, but I think I have to say the number 1 is the one to enhance anyway, because the others feel even easier. And 2 and 3, I just don't know. So 1 it is, I guess. Wait, Die with a Smile? Did it say the song? Was the question the song? I thought it was the artists. What? If I lose the season by less than a point because I misread the question, I'm going to cry. I thought it said the artists. Am I going nuts? I thought it asked for the artists. Did I misread? I don't know. Oh, man. That's bad if I don't get credit for that. It's 4 out of 6 if I do. Reichstag, Tinder, Charmander, as expected, are correct. 1998, I was way off on the year. Jamie Oliver, never heard of this man in my life. I have no clue who that is, but oh my God. If I don't get credit for 5, that's tragic. I really thought it was asking for the artist, but I might have misread it. Dang it. Okay, fine. We move. Question 5. Quiz 5, rather. Quiz 5 is all about arts and lit, and it's Great Balls of Fire. And it's specifically, well, it is arts and lit, I think. Starting with a dark blue background full of stars painted in fresco was the original backdrop for a surface in what building before a much more famous work replaced it in 1508? That work, which can still be viewed in this building, required a 60-foot tall scaffold to complete. Best guess I'm going to have for this is the Sistine Chapel, which I am a little bit scared because I feel like the Sistine Chapel is more of a room than a building, because I feel like it's part of the larger, like, Pope palace thing. Just the whatever, where the Pope lives in the Vatican. But yeah, it's not St. Peter's Basilica, and I think it's talking about the Sistine Chapel, and there's no way that they want the building that surrounds it. So I feel like I just say Sistine Chapel, even though, again, I feel like it's a room, not a building, so I'm kind of scared. But, like, I don't know what else this would be. I can't think of a better guess, so Sistine Chapel it is. Question 2, this issuing, we again beheld the stars, pure and made apt for mounting to the stars, that moves the sun in heaven, and all the stars are the lines that end what works, 3 sections, each of which takes place in a different part of the afterlife. This is the Divine Comedy of Dante, which is kind of fun. I mean, yeah, we read Inferno in high school. We didn't we kind of skimmed the other two, but anyway, notably all three of the, not cantos, just all 3 of the sections of the Divine Comedy, and with Le Stelle, which is Italian for the stars. So that's kind of a fun. It's kind of a fun fact about the Divine Comedy. Question 3. The melody of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star originates from the French folk song À vous dirai-je maman, which Mozart helped popularize in a work that continuously altered and re-altered the melody and its accompaniment 12 times. This type of work is referred to as what form, which Edward Elgar also used in a work that reinterpreted a mysterious original theme. So my thought on this one is that it's like variation or variations. I'll just say variation, because the Elgar thing, I mean, one of the things that Elgar's famous for is the enigma variations, and the fact that it says mysterious makes me think, okay, that's what enigma means. And, you know, altered and re-altered the melody sounds like you're varying it, so it makes sense that it would be called a variation, although I'm not sure. I mean, I think it makes sense, but I haven't heard of the Mozart thing, and I could be on the wrong track here, but hopefully this is what's going on. Question 3, the line Sun, Moon, Stars, Rain ends Everyone Lived in a Pretty How Town, a poem by what? Or a poem what? Typographically inventive poet. This is Edward Estlin Cummings, which, you know, the question doesn't have a capital letter, so I won't type the answer with a capital letter either. He is famous for not putting capital letters in his poetry. Question 5, John Green's The Fault in Our Stars takes its name from a line in what Shakespeare play? The fault, dear Brutus, is not in our stars but in ourselves. This is from Julius Caesar. I think, unless Brutus appears in a different play. I hope it's not like Coriolanus or something, but surely it's Julius Caesar. And then finally, question 6, thick brush strokes depict 2 lovers strolling along a waterfront while gas lamps reflect in a river in a post-impressionist painting titled For What Phrase Over the Rhone? And then tall wavy cypress tree dominates the left, another painting titled for this phrase. This is the Starry Night. The first one I'd never heard of, but the wavy cypress tree and looking out the asylum window at Saint-Rémy in Provence is famously what that's what Starry Night is. So, I don't know. I don't know what to enhance here. Maybe I go with. Oh man, I'm worried. See, Divine Comedy would be a good one to enhance if it didn't say each of which takes place in a different part of the afterlife, but that makes it substantially easier. So I think I'll enhance 3 instead, because surely that's right? I mean, maybe it's a bit of a risk, but like the enigma variations, right? Like that has to be what this is cluing. Enigma, mysterious, like variations, altering and re-altering. It makes too much sense to be wrong, I think. I think I'm going to go with 3. I don't know, but it feels probable enough that I should go for it. You got to be kidding me. How many are you going to give me, man? Okay. Shirley? Yeah. E. Cummings, Variations, Divine Comedy, Sistine Chapel, Julius Caesar, Starry Night. Let's go. Okay. Starry Night Over the Rhone apparently is also Vincent van Gogh. don't know if it said that in the question or not. If it did, I missed it. But nice. 6 out of 6. Again, huge. I'm doing, I think, pretty well so far. I mean, I've definitely missed a couple, but I think, honestly, I think on the whole, it's been good. It has been good. I think I've got two sixes, a 5, a 4, and a 3 so far, which it's not amazing, but it's good, isn't it? And I think the last couple of quizzes are okay, so I may have a chance here. I may have a shot at number 1. Okay, quiz 6. The Great Fire of Rome happened during the reign of which emperor? Who did not, in fact, fiddle while Rome burned, because apparently he wasn't in the city. But this is Nero. That's kind of the famous myth about Nero. Question 2. After the Great Fire of London, which architect and head of the king's works was responsible for the construction of over 50 churches to replace those that were burned down, including St. Paul's Cathedral? No punctuation. This is Sir Christopher Wren, I believe. I'll just say Christopher Wren. He is famously the architect of St. Paul's, or at least the modern version of St. Paul's. It probably exists before then in a different form, but anyway, Christopher Wren is the St. Paul's architect. I don't know of a lot of architects, but he's one of them. Question 3. Reporter Herbert Morris used the phrase "Oh, the humanity" while chronicling what fiery disaster for radio? This is the Hindenburg, or the Hindenburg disaster, the crashing of the Hindenburg in, I think it was New Jersey. Again, "Oh, the humanity" is just a phrase that I have always associated with the Hindenburg. Question 4. Which building, part of an institution known as the Museion, is thought to have been destroyed in a fire set during a civil war after the city it was located in was attacked by the forces of Ptolemy the 13th? This one took me a sec, but I know that the Library of Alexandria famously burned. Like that's how it disappeared, and all of its contents were lost. Museion sounds very Greek. I mean, Museion just means museum, I think, but makes sense. I mean, Alexandria was definitely Greek, certainly at some point. At that point, when it had a library, I think. And Ptolemy the 13th sounds Egyptian to me. And I mean, Ptolemy, I think there are just a lot of Egyptian pharaohs called Ptolemy, basically. So this Ptolemy made me think of Egypt. And it's like a building part of an institution that was destroyed in a fire just feels like the Library of Alexandria. Question 5. The 1911 Triangle Fire in New York City led to the deaths of over 100 people, most of whom were women, manufacturing which products? So, these, I think, are going to be shirtwaists. The funny thing is, I have no idea what a shirtwaist is. Like, no clue. Like, I guess it's some kind of clothing, but it's clearly very... I am surely that's archaic, or maybe I'm just living under a rock, but I don't know what a shirtwaist is at all. But this is known as the Triangle Shirtwaist Factory Fire. That's the name I know it by. So yeah, Triangle Shirtwaist Factory. Presumably it is a factory called Triangle that manufactures shirtwaists. So shirtwaist it is, whatever that is. Finally, question 6. In 1969, a woman from Martinique named Francine Lecomte self-immolated because, according to Reuters, she was obsessed with the Nigerian Civil War. The war was fought between Nigeria and what breakaway state, which the war is alternatively named for? This, I believe, is Biafra. I think the Biafran War is the same as the Nigerian Civil War. Again, I just know this as the Biafran War. That's just kind of the name that it's, that's the name that's, I don't know, I've most heard. So I know that there's a war in Nigeria's history called the Biafran War. I think Biafra was a breakaway state. I think that was the whole deal. I'm not 100% sure, but I can't think of another alternate name for a war in Nigeria. I mean, I don't know if, hopefully it's not just like Benin or something, but honestly, I feel pretty good about that one as well. So I think I enhanced number 6, to be honest. Triangle Shirtwaist Factory, it's just known by that name, so people are going to get that. Ren, I think, is reasonably hard, but I think Biafra is probably the toughest question here, so I'm going with that one. All right. Biafra, good. Shirtwaists, Library of Alexandria, Hindenburg, Christopher Wren, Nero. Another 6 out of 6. Dude, I'm getting a really clutch week right when I needed one. Absolutely huge. Here we go. Final quiz of the week and of the season. Can I do it? Quiz 7. The Japanese term for will-o'-the-wisps refers to them as fires of what mythical creatures which grow more tails as they become older and wiser. I always forget the Japanese word for this, but thankfully you can give the English word. These, I think, are foxes because nine tails, I mean, the nine-tailed fox is just kind of a famous thing in Japanese culture. I think there's a Pokemon called Ninetales that is a fox that has nine tails. So I think just kind of has to be it. I can't remember the Japanese word, and I really need to remember it. But yeah, hopefully foxes is what's going on with the whole tails clue. Question 2. The Atash Dadga, Atash Adaran, and Atash Behram are 3 grades of sacred fire housed in the fire temples of Zoroastrianism. Ahura Mazda being the chief god of Zoroastrianism, which is like a Iranian Persian religion. Question 3. According to some Vedic texts, the nature of Atman means that the god Prajapati is both the father and son of what Hindu fire god, named after the Sanskrit word for fire. Sacrifices of ghee are often made to this god, who eagerly laps them up with his 7 tongues. So this feels like something I should know, because I feel like I'm generally pretty decent with mythology. I'm not great at, like, Christianity, Judaism, Islam stuff, but I'm usually pretty good at, like, I don't know, polytheist, like, mythology stuff, and mostly I'm good at, like, Greek and Roman and Norse, but I feel like I know a decent amount of Hindu gods, but I have no idea what this is. I tried to think of things. I mean, there's Krishna, there's Ganesha, there's Lakshmi, there's Saraswati, I think. That's the one I'm going to guess because I don't actually know who Saraswati is. Ganesha is like the elephant head one. Lakshmi is female. Krishna, is not a fire god, I don't think. There's a couple others that I thought of that I can't even remember now, but I don't know any of them as fire gods. So to be honest, I don't know who the Hindu fire god is. I think I'm wrong, but I don't know. I should know, but I don't. Question 4. The volcano goddess Pele, the namesake of a local curse set upon tourists who take home volcanic rocks as souvenirs, is a major part of the mythology of Hawaii, of course. I mean, I say of course, it's not that obvious. I mean, it could be something like Samoa or something like that. But yeah, this is just, I mean, I don't know. Pele is the Hawaiian fire goddess, volcano goddess. So yeah, volcano goddess. Anyway, Hawaii is definitely the answer to this. Question 5. Name the Old Testament prophet who discredits prophets of Baal by proving their inability to light a bull on fire through prayer, then later himself ascends to heaven in a whirling chariot of fire, leaving his similarly named mentee to take his mantle. So I said I'm good at mythology, particularly Greek mythology. I am really bad at Bible things. It is, I don't know why the Bible is so just wholly uninteresting to me, because it's kind of just mythology, kind of like the rest of it. But this is just, I just have no idea. Like, I can name a few names from the Bible. I'm going to say Zechariah because I know that there's a book of the Bible called Zechariah, and I know that there's one called Zephaniah because they're the last two alphabetically, I think. And similarly named mentee, Zechariah, Zephaniah, those are pretty similar names, aren't they? So sure. Hopefully it's not Zephaniah. It's probably going to be something entirely different, but again, I don't know anything about the Bible, so this is kind of just, I'm a bit done for on this one. Final question of the season. What figure as depicted in an Aeschylus trilogy was rescued by Heracles from Mount Elbrus, where he had been imprisoned for fire-related crimes? This is, of course, Prometheus, the Titan who gave fire to the gods, or not the gods, to humans. He revealed the secret of fire to humans, and then he was eternally punished by the gods. They chained him to the mountain, and they had an eagle come and eat his liver every day, which is super nice and jolly. But yeah, that is Prometheus. And as for what to enhance, once again, I don't know. I really don't know. A lot of these seem reasonably difficult, but not that difficult. Hawaii is definitely too easy, but I think 1, 2, and 6 all feel possible. I think I will enhance. How well known is the Japanese foxes thing? Like the 9 tails. I don't know. Greek myth is just, people know it. I'm going to enhance 1. I don't know how well known Ahura Mazda and like basic things about Zoroastrianism are, but I think one is maybe safer. So that's gonna be it. Wait, there are none. That's not a bicycle. All right, man. Maybe it was. I don't know. Prometheus, Elijah, sure. Hawaii, Agni. Jeez, what is Agni? Foxes, Zoroastrianism. It's 4 out of 6. It's what I expected. Agni, man, I don't know if I've heard of Agni. Maybe somewhere in the depths of my brain, but that's not something that was going to come to me. So that's okay. And Elijah, again, that's a prophet who exists. I mean, if you asked me to list prophets, I probably would have said Elijah is one of them. But like, do I know anything about what Elijah did? No, I certainly do not. So kind of fine with that. 4 out of 6. It works. Honestly, I feel like that was a pretty good week. Maybe slightly above average. I mean, probably above average, right? I had a couple of 6s. I had a 5, a couple of 4s. Did I have 3 6s? I mean, it was a good week. It was a good week. But I'm scared because I'm scared of Rasmus. I'm scared of Soluna. I'm scared of Solar Sensei. I'm scared of Pissman as well. All of them could overtake me. I mean, I say overtake me. All of them could win the season with a good week. It is super, super close. But yeah, I guess, well, you guys, it'll be instantaneous for you guys, but I will see you once we know what the final season standings are. Alrighty, so I am here with the final standings of Season 7 of the Lyons Den Quiz League. You can't see them, so I will hide my webcam and reveal how it finished. Unfortunately, I finished in 5th, which is pretty much the worst results that could have happened. I was very, very close, of course, to not only a couple places above me, but also to first place. Yeah, I was only about, what, 2.27 points away from winning the whole thing. So very, very close, but I just came up short, unfortunately. The week 5 standings ended up looking like this. So I finished in 9th, which, yeah, not the best week for me. I mean, it was okay, for sure. It was very, very tightly contested at the top. But yeah, just a couple more correct questions would have gotten me the title, but I just couldn't quite do it. So there is no championship for season number 7. So I will be right back to you guys with season 8, because as I'm recording this, it's already like week 2. So yeah, sorry for the delay, but season 8 will be coming soon. Season 6 championship will be uploaded at some point. Again, I say it every time. I'm sorry. I know that it's like literally months late, but I'm bad at this. But I'll get it to you eventually. And then there will be a season 8 championship as well in a few weeks' time. So yeah, looking forward to all of that. But hopefully you guys enjoyed another season of the LDQL. Thanks again, as always, to Benny and Looney for being legends and putting this together, because yeah, it wouldn't be a thing without them. So we owe them a lot. So yeah, thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And I'll see you again soon, very soon, for the next season. Goodbye.